Hello, loyal subjects! Today I'm going to be making the first installment of a new mini-series that I'm going to have here on my channel called Mini Reviews, where I'm basically going to give short, spoiler-free reviews about books that I've read in the past, but I can't make full reviews on because either I don't have enough to say about them or I haven't read them in a while, so the plots aren't as fresh in my head. Today I'm going to be doing the 3 books that Rainbow Rowell has written: Attachments, Eleanor Park, and Fangirl. If you don't know who Rainbow Rowell is, basically she is a young adult contemporary author. She writes really great books with lots of quirky, fun, relatable characters, and all of her stories are always really cute and sweet, not too hard and heavy, and they just bring a lot of joy to a lot of people. So I wanted to let you guys know what I thought about those. First up is Attachments. This was Rainbow Rowell's debut novel, and it's actually an adult book about a guy named Lincoln who got a job as an internet security officer at a local newspaper, and he thought that this was going to mean he was going to do lots of high-tech stuff to try and make firewalls and track down hackers, but really he just has to read through people's emails that they're using through the work emails and make sure that nobody is sending anything inappropriate, so it's really pretty boring, not what he had in mind. But that all changes when he starts reading emails between these 2 women that work there called Beth and Jennifer, and he knows that he should send them a warning to tell them to stop using it to just trade funny quirky stories, but he finds himself really enjoying the stories and really actually getting to know these 2 women, and then the unexpected happens and he falls for Beth, and it's really great because a lot of the time it's being told through Lincoln's perspective about his life, and then the other half of the book is Beth and Jennifer's emails, which you really get to know them and their stories without actually seeing them until a long way through the novel. Overall, I really enjoyed this book. It's actually my most recent read of Rainbow Rowell's. I wanted to have read all her books before Landline comes out in July. Yeah, I read this in a day. It was just such an easy story to read. The characters were great. I really liked Lincoln. I would definitely recommend this to anyone of any age, whether you're a guy or a girl, an adult or a teenager. I think it's got something in here that everyone can relate to. It talks about love, relationships, work, trying to find yourself, and I just really liked it. I would give this about a 4 out of 5 stars, like a solid 90%, I think. So read this. Next is Eleanor Park by Rainbow Rowell. This follows 2 misfits named Eleanor and Park and it's set in 1986, I believe. Basically they're just 2 kids going through high school, and they've both got very different lives. Park is an interracial boy, half Irish, half Korean. He's got parents that are deeply in love with each other and like quite middle class, like wealthy family, whereas Eleanor comes from kind of a mixed family. She has this really awful stepfather named Richie who serves as like all of the hate in this book. And she has a big family, and I found myself really relating to Eleanor, just that she got uncomfortable in a lot of these social situations, especially with Park. And having the big family and all those sorts of issues is something that I could really relate to. Obviously, there is a romance between our 2 lead characters, and it was just really sweet. I loved the setting of the 80s, having the comic books and the music and the clothes, and just everything about it was so great. It was just such a fun, quick read. I read this very quickly as well. It's not too thick, so I would recommend this as well to other people. I gave it like 5 out of 5. It was just really fun. It really sends home a message of just how deep and invested people can get in first loves, and I thought it was a very true portrayal of how couples in high school are, how deep and fast in love they fall, and they can't think about anyone else except their other. Really great, because that's exactly how a lot of my friends act. And then we have Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This is actually the first book by hers that I read. It follows a girl named Kath who's just starting out in college. She's separated from her twin sister Ren because her sister wants to do the freshman thing, like go out, meet new people, drink, that kind of stuff. Whereas Kath, all she wants to do is write fan fiction, read fan fiction, and just be an active member of the fandom for the Simon Snow series, which is basically like the Harry Potter of this world. And during this time that she has at college, she goes through a lot of changes, things like people that she meets, the classes that she takes, how she views writing, how she views making connections with other people, and kind of having this life in the fandom, but also having one in the real world. Obviously, very relatable character, as I'm sure you have all heard. I would be surprised if any of you out there haven't read at least one Rainbow Rowell book. One of the great things about Rainbow Rowell's books is not only does she write really great protagonists, but all of her side characters are completely unique people as well, with their own hopes and aspirations and personalities. No one in her story is just like an archetype or a stereotype. All of her characters have had lots of thought put into them and why they have these goals, which I think is very evident in her writing. She's just a really great author. I was never that big a fan of contemporary in the past, but since discovering her and John Green and a bunch of other contemporary authors, they've just sparked this love for contemporary inside me that I never knew existed as a child. Obviously, I would give Fangirl 5 out of 5 stars. A+, would recommend. It's one of my favourite books. Now, if I were to rate 3 books in order from like least favourite to favourite, I like them all, so don't think that I don't. I would probably put Attachments on the bottom, then Eleanor Park, and Fangirl would be on the top. So yeah, go out and read these because they're really great, and I will definitely be reading Landline as soon as it comes out. I've pre-ordered it, it's gonna be great. Okay, and look forward to the next installment in this series. Have a great day, have some great reading time done. I will see you next time. Goodbye.